And, okay, we're live. It's Pete Vere interviewing Mark Van Dusen, and I had thought you were spokesperson with the commission, but you said you're media coordinator?
Advisor to the chief commissioner.
Ah, okay.
And
so,
manager of media relations, I guess.
Yep. And you're aware I am recording it,
Yeah.
and I may likely will podcast this. So,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's start off with one accusation that several critics have made is that the commission operates on the basis that one is guilty until proven innocent. Do you agree, or do you rebuke that statement?
We rebuke that statement. Absolutely false. The commission operates according to set procedures, and it treats every Canadian who files a complaint with us on an equal basis.
Okay. Now, is it true that any Section 13 complaint pursued by the Commission to the Tribunal has never been ruled in favor of the respondent? That's sort of clumsily asked, but I think you get the sense of the question.
That every complaint dealing with hate that goes to tribunal rules in favor of the of the complainant.
Yes, when brought forth by the Commission.
No, it's not true.
Can you name any specific cases where the Commission has brought a case to the Tribunal based on Section 13 and the Tribunal has ruled in favor of the respondent?
There was one, the case off the top of my head, I don't remember, but to be clear, certainly the majority of cases, hate cases that go to the tribunal are ruled in favor of the complainant. That's because the commission only refers cases that it considers are of such a vilifying nature that they are likely to be upheld at tribunal. We don't send cases, frivolous or weak cases, ahead to the tribunal. We have a screening process that looks very carefully at all cases, and will only advance those where we think that there is very strong evidence that the alleged complaint of hate will prove true.
Okay. Another complaint, and usually the examples cited are Bishop Fred Henry of Calgary, though the case against him was withdrawn, so probably not a good one. But is that with the Boissonneau case, and was that a federal, or was that the Alberta Human Rights Commission?
I can't tell you off the top of my head. Are you saying that are you talking about a case that?
Yeah. Well, let's look at two cases that we know for certain are being looked into by the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal. That's Father Alphonse de Valk, a respected Basilian priest, and the Christian Heritage Party.
But if they're before tribunal, we can't comment until the tribunal issues a decision.
Okay. Why would the commission investigate a case where Christians are simply holding on to positions that Christians have always held on?
We look at every case, and I can't comment on specific cases, but I can tell you we look at every case, based on the circumstances or the details filed in the complaint.
Okay. Is stating moral opposition to same-sex marriage, is that a hate crime?
As I said, I can't tell you that. You're referring to a specific complaint, and I can't.
Well, I'm saying in general, if one, because of one's sincerely held moral beliefs, whether it be Jew, Muslim, Christian, Catholic, opposes the idea of same-sex marriage in Canada, is that considered hate? They don't advocate violence.
We investigate complaints, Mr. Vere. We don't set public policy or moral standards. We investigate complaints based on the circumstances and the details outlined in the complaint. And if we upon investigation deem that there is sufficient evidence, then we may forward the complaint to the tribunal. But the hate is defined in the Human Rights Act under Section 13(1). And our job is to look at it, compare it to the Act, to accumulated case law, tribunal and court decisions that have reflected on hate, and decide whether to advance the complaint, or dismiss it, or whether there's room for a settlement between parties.
Okay, in the case of a room of a settlement, does the Commission make these details public?
No, we don't. The process is guided by privacy laws, and we don't, first of all, disclose the nature of a complaint that comes before us, or the details of it, nor obviously names of parties involved.
Okay. How
To do so would compromise the whole system.
how strictly does the the Commission adhere to Canada's Privacy Act and other laws governing privacy?
Well, we adhere to them pretty strictly. I mean, you can, to quote a simple example, if you were a person in a particular place of employment, say in the federal workforce somewhere, and you felt you were being victimized or the victim of discrimination based on one of the 11 grounds under the Act, and you filed a complaint against your employer, I imagine the last thing you'd want is for the Commission to broadcast or publicize the fact that you'd filed a complaint. Your privacy must be protected, as well as the privacy of the person or group who the complaint is filed against. Both deserve protection.
So both the petitioner and the respondent?
Yes.
Okay. What if